Somewhere right now, a hedge fund manager is staring at a spreadsheet. On that spreadsheet are names, ages, medical histories, and next to each one, a dollar figure representing exactly how much profit the fund makes when that person dies. This is legal, it is regulated, and it is worth billions. Here is what almost nobody knows. The life insurance policy sitting in your drawer right now might be worth significantly more than you think, not to your family, but to a stranger on Wall Street. And there is a very specific reason the insurance industry does not want you to find that out. Start at the beginning. You buy a life insurance policy, you pay premiums every month, you die, your family collects the payout. Simple. But that policy is an asset, and like most assets, it can be sold. The secondary market for life insurance is called the life settlement market. Here is how it works. You own a policy worth $500,000. You are elderly, maybe ill, and you no longer need the coverage. Or you simply cannot afford the premiums anymore. Instead of letting the policy lapse and walking away with nothing, you sell it. A buyer pays you a lump sum, say $150,000. They take over the premium payments, and when you pass, they collect the full $500,000 death benefit. They pay $150,000, they receive $500,000. The return depends entirely on one variable: how long you live. Now here's where this gets genuinely strange, because individual life settlements are one thing, but Wall Street did what Wall Street always does with predictable cash flows. It packaged them. Life settlement funds pool hundreds of individual policies together, diversifying across ages, health conditions, and policy sizes. The logic mirrors bond investing. You are buying a future cash flow. The uncertainty is not the interest rate, it is longevity. These funds were pitched to institutional investors through the 2000s as an uncorrelated asset class, and technically that pitch was accurate. Whether someone's life insurance pays out has nothing to do with whether the S&P 500 goes up or down. That is genuinely attractive to a portfolio manager trying to reduce correlation. The U.S. life settlement market has been estimated at between $3 billion and $5 billion in annual face value transacted in recent years, though figures vary significantly by source. But the model has a structural flaw that took investors years to fully appreciate. Longevity risk cuts both ways. When people live longer than actuarial models predicted, which they increasingly did, funds had to keep paying premiums while waiting longer for payouts. Some funds ran into serious liquidity problems as a result. The most human variable turned out to be the hardest one to price. And here's the part that connects directly to you, even if you never invest a single dollar in one of these funds. If you own a large life insurance policy you no longer need, you may be sitting on a significantly undervalued asset. Most people let policies lapse. They walk away with nothing. The option to sell into the secondary market is legal in most U.S. states and increasingly available in other jurisdictions. A licensed life settlement broker can assess fair market value. Whether selling makes sense depends entirely on your personal situation, but knowing the option exists is the first step most people never take. For investors evaluating these funds directly, the uncorrelated return thesis is real. But longevity risk is genuinely hard to model, and actuarial assumptions deserve serious scrutiny before committing capital. So here's what this market actually is. Not a morbid curiosity, not a fringe instrument, a functioning secondary market built on a simple arbitrage. The gap between what an insurance company thinks your policy is worth and what the market will actually pay for it. Wall Street found that gap, built funds around it, and then discovered that the one variable no model fully captures is the same variable that makes us human. We live longer than expected. Next video, another alternative asset class almost nobody talks about, one where investors fund court cases and take a cut of the winnings. No courtroom experience required, just capital, patience, and a very high tolerance for uncertainty.